Your ad says Medicare for all. Your plan is not Medicare for all. It's not even Medicare for some, because in your plan, there's not even a public option.
Jonathan Karl of ABC's This Week brought on Andrew Yang and asked him about his healthcare plan. Now, there's an issue here with Andrew Yang's healthcare plan, as you're going to see in this clip. What is on Andrew Yang's website about healthcare is not what he has been putting in his commercials. So Jonathan Karl asks him about this, and Yang does not have a good response. Watch.
You've just released a new healthcare plan, and I'm a little bit confused about where you stand. First, I want to play clips from 2 of your ads where you talk about healthcare.
We need to move towards a Medicare for all system where every American has access to quality and affordable services.
His ideas are a blueprint for a new way forward. A healthcare system with Medicare for all.
But I've looked at your healthcare plan. In fact, I've got it right here. And this plan does not call for Medicare for all. In fact, it doesn't even have a public option. So why the dissonance here?
We need to move towards universal health care that's high quality and nearly cost-free for Americans around the country. But reality is we have millions of Americans who are on private insurance right now, and taking those plans away from them very quickly would be untenable for many, many Americans. To me, the goal of the government has to be to demonstrate that we can outcompete private plans and then push them out of the market over time. And that's what we're proposing.
But I'm confused. Your ad is explicit. Your ad says Medicare for all. Your plan is not Medicare for all. It's not even Medicare for some, because in your plan, there's not even a public option.
Our plan is to expand a universal health care system to all Americans. Medicare for all is not the name of a bill. Medicare for all is universal health care for all Americans.
But Medicare for all is Medicare for all, right? I mean...
Well, our health care plan would be based on Medicare and expanding it over time to more and more Americans. You lower the eligibility age, and then you make it widely accessible.
Okay, I didn't see that in your plan, but
all right. Andrew Yang isn't admitting to what should be obvious to everyone watching this clip. Andrew Yang is lying in his campaign ads about Medicare for all. He does not support Medicare for all, yet he puts Medicare for all in his campaign ads. And when questioned on it, he goes into typical standard robot politician mode. Our plan is to expand healthcare to everyone in the country, and doing that over a course of a number of years. Like, how about, why do you say that you support Medicare for all in your ads, but your actual plan is not in support of Medicare for all? He doesn't answer the question about why he's lying to millions of people that are watching television, that are seeing these ads. I mean, you go on his website, you look at his plan, it says here, to be clear, I support the spirit of Medicare for all. The spirit of Medicare for all is not supporting Medicare for all. That's like saying I support the spirit of civil rights. Or people that support Yang, I support the spirit of a universal basic income, would not be actually supporting a universal basic income that he supports. Supporting the spirit of something is just a way to say, I don't actually support this thing, but because you support it, I want you to support me. That's all it is. He is lying to people in his ads because Medicare for all is incredibly popular. When it's polled, you can see people actually want Medicare for all. The candidates like Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren that have backed off from Medicare for all after initially supporting it have lost their support. Andrew Yang understands this. He's a smart guy. He knows this. He knows Medicare for all is popular. So he's going to put it in his ads. But if you dig into the details, he doesn't actually support it. So, look, I'm not covering this to needlessly crap on Andrew Yang or his supporters. A lot of what Andrew Yang has said in the past, I agree with. He has some good critiques of the current system, how things are broken, discusses automation and the impact of that. But when it gets down to it, this is not a guy who is actually into fundamental change of anything. His whole plan, I mean, his only real plan is UBI. Now, yes, you'll say he has of course, he has plans on his website, but the only thing that makes him stand out from anybody else in the race is universal basic income. But Do you care about healthcare? Do you care about climate change? Do you care about raising wages? Do you care about any other issue? Do you care about winning? Because in order to actually win the primary, you need at least 15% of the vote in a primary state to win delegates. Andrew Yang is not there. I mean, even Elizabeth Warren is barely there. Right now, you really have two top candidates, Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. These are two candidates consistently polling above 15%, will absolutely be able to win delegates. With other candidates, you're kind of wasting your vote. So if you care about supporting a candidate that is truly anti-establishment, that actually wants to change the system for the better, put it in the interest of the people and not in the interest of wealthy donors, you have one choice here, and that's Bernie Sanders. So, and especially if you care at all about healthcare, if you care about Medicare for all, if you care about moving to a healthcare system that actually puts people first, then you have to support a candidate and a campaign that is looking to implement that. A candidate that has fought 40 years for that, has never wavered on Medicare for all. I mean, there is one campaign in this race that has built a mass movement of people that will be needed to pass the sort of thing like Medicare for all. Big change, whether it's, the New Deal or civil rights, this stuff takes a fight. It takes a mass movement of people. It takes political pressure to get it done. Bernie Sanders is building that political pressure with his mass movement. Andrew Yang, even if you agree with everything he says, he doesn't have that mass movement. He doesn't have that those people behind him. So when you're going to the voting booth and thinking who can actually win this state, and at the same time bring real transformational change, positive change to my life, you have to think who can actually do that, who has the movement, who has the support, who can actually win. So when it comes to Andrew Yang supporters, look, I understand. I get it. You like your candidate. You want him to win. But watch how this race goes. I mean, I'm not sure if you're going to be in the early states, but whenever your state votes, at that point in the race, you have to make a calculation. Can my candidate, knowing all of this, I mean, even putting aside his lying here about Medicare for all, can your candidate actually win? And at that point, if he can't, and your choice is between Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what side of the spectrum you're on. I mean, if you're supporting Andrew Yang, I imagine you're a little more anti-establishment. You're a little more open to transformational change than, say, Joe Biden is. So Bernie Sanders is your best bet here.